What we do here matters, because what we don't do matters even more.
We need to continue to push, and we at ADAO are going to continue to push the Surgeon General of the United States.
As you know, the United States continues to use asbestos, and that indeed is a barrier to others stopping its use.
The most horrific part of this whole story is that it is preventable.
But what I have noticed over the years that is changing is that when I tell people that I'm coming to the Asbestos Disease Awareness Conference, they go, "Oh, isn't that what your father died of?" And that wasn't the case 5 years ago, or however long it was ago. They used to say, "Oh, didn't he die of lung cancer? You know, wasn't he a smoker with this and that?" But the idea that that's actually become synonymous with his name shows progress, and I don't know exactly what the result of that is, but I take a lot of comfort in knowing that that's becoming synonymous with how he passed away. And I've had two friends. One of them, my friend's wife, has lung cancer, but luckily she's going to be okay. But they knew what to look for, they knew the questions to ask, and they were able to come to Linda and to ADAO for advice and help, and this wonderful network of people that we all are a part of. And then another friend's father actually was diagnosed with meso. And they knew to come to me, and I knew to come to Linda, and Linda knew where to go from there. So it's gaining some sort of momentum, but it's a tough fight, and I'm proud to be a part of it, and I'm just proud to be here as always. Thanks.
Jordan has been serving as our national spokesperson since 2004,
I believe? Was it 4? Yeah.
And I found Jordan's father's story on the web, so I monitored Warren's diagnosis and progress because Alan had been exposed. And I thought if anybody could beat this disease, it would be your dad. And in September of this year, it will be 10 years since Warren lost his battle. But as a young man going through this, is there any part of that diagnosis and treatment that you think is relative after what you've been hearing? I mean, you've got science and medicine and hygienists.
You know, I think that he was so in the dark about it, and I was so in the dark. And the diagnosis that he was given by a radiologist was 3 months. And so he just, we weren't big on doctors. We had a lot of old people in our family, and it was just one of those things where when somebody tells you that, he didn't think that it was something you should do. He didn't want to be sick for the last part of his life, and instead he went to make the record.
Well, the ultimate album. On the slide you'll see Jordan's first trip to Washington to have our educational discussions. And Marilyn, and obviously Ellen Patton and Doug and I are in this picture. Somebody very famous came around the corner when he was looking to go be inaugurated. Do you remember that one?
Yes, I remember that. Well, it was a pretty ridiculous experience for a musician to suddenly be in this just, you know, this place of untouchability. And we're walking around the hill, and I walk out of the door of, was it Reed's office? Mm-hmm. Senator Reed's office. And this guy walks out of the door across from me. I guess it was the Senate room. So much I know about politics, I'm embarrassing myself.
The room where they vote on stuff.
The red room.
And this guy walks out, and it's Obama, and he says, "Where am I going now?" And I went, "White House." And he just smiled and walked away. And probably tried to have me escorted out, but I was too fast.
Very smart.
But that was a pretty amazing experience. I mean, I've definitely seen things on the entertainment side that are cool, but then when I come out here, I mean, this is impressive to a guy like me, you know. It's a whole different culture and a whole different world.
Well, if you look at the photo on the left here, you'll see Doug, Dr. Lemon, and Jordan, and we can kind of sum this up by shoes. So, This was at a conference, and Jordan has never, ever said no to ADAO. No matter what the request has been, can you come to Washington? Really, put your hands together. From will you use your celebrity voice to tape a PSA, to go to Congress, to come to our conferences, and they are dry, look at Emily. I mean, these are long, long days, and you've never said no. And I think that that speaks boldly. Tell us a little bit about...
Of course, we aren't talking about personal requests. This is just ADAO.
I love his daughter, so I would babysit at a moment's notice. We started an award, I can't remember, Army Archer was the first one. We wanted to amplify Jordan's voice, but also remember his father in the process. So we began the Warren Zevon Keep Me in Your Heart Award. And
2011, I believe. Yeah.
But that's Ron Cyrus's cousin.
Yep.
So that's been big. And this is your girlfriend.
Very sweet.
That's Selma Archer.
Yeah.
Army Archer was Mr. Hollywood for the longest time, and you went and played a song in their apartment, and we captured a beautiful video.
Yeah, for Daily Variety, which just last week closed its doors as far as print is concerned.
Yeah.
To talk about the end of an era.
And when it comes to public speaking, Jordan doesn't really need me. Trust me, this guy can talk, and he has heard, he's understood. He went to the product testing press conference that Jim spoke about, and Jordan did more in 3 minutes than, no offense, the rest of us did in 30. So you've gone full circle from education to advocacy, you do community work. Which part of your national spokesperson, this might be a harder question, is most interesting, or do you feel like your celebrity voice has the biggest bang for your buck? I mean, where is your voice the strongest?
I think it's just really kind of grassroots. I think that, I mean, if I do interviews or anything like that, I always try to get it in. I don't know whether or not they're going to use it. But I made maybe it was a mistake at the time to take any and all Facebook friends to my personal account. And I only wish I had that many friends, but I don't. But now when they see the posts of ADAO and you know, we post things to my timeline, it gets seen, and I have people that reach out and tell me stories. And I have been able to send a lot of people towards ADAO. And I think that's the biggest impact that I can have. I mean, any chance I get. But in lieu of having, you know, a bigger stage at the moment, it's just kind of day by day and making people aware. So like I said, when I meet somebody for the first time and we talk about what I do and ADAO comes up, they know that my father died of mesothelioma.
Not shy. One of Jordan's favorite, one of my favorite taglines that Jordan has is, ignorance isn't bliss, it's deadly. And I think that that resonates. You're going to hear Jordan tonight, acoustically. There you are.
There I am.
He always performs at our conferences, so you have a real treat. And, oh, look at cheesecake. Yeah, kind of Big Brother, so we have the family thing happening. And at the end of the day, thank you for being part of our family and using your voice, because it is through the magnification of your celebrity voices that people do listen. So on behalf of all of us here, thank you.
Thank you.
Can I say one more thing?
You can say anything you want.
I just have to say one more thing. I'm not good at this. This is new to me. Jordan's great, but this woman is amazing. I don't know how she does it. I've never met anybody like her. I love you.
So I'd like to introduce to you ADAO's honorary co-celebrity chairwoman.
Thank
but
you.
most importantly, she's known as Barbara Minton McQueen, but Steve McQueen's widow would be very common. It would be easy for you to hide after watching someone you love so dearly go through something that's so horrific. And Barbie has indeed epitomized turning her anger to action. We have some pictures here to show you that Steve was such a young, handsome 50-year-old man when he lost his battle. And you had been married when?
We were married only for about a year, but we were together for 4 years. And I just want to tell everybody, I've done this meso thing with Linda, what, 3 times now, maybe? She almost didn't get me down here tonight, because every time, I've just been crying the whole time, because it's finally hit me how real it is. Oh, here I go. How real it is, how tough it is, and it's just not right. And you've made me a ball bag this whole time.
Well, but this session is called Celebrity Voices, and you and Jordan have a very strong place in our world, and we respect you for standing up because it would be easy to walk away. As Barbie shared with us, Steve was actually exposed many places, but will you share a little bit about his naval exposure? Because I think those records would be interesting to many people here since we're a stone's throw away from those.
I think he was in Washington, D.C. Well, Steve, yes, he was chasing girls, and he got caught, and he had to go do time in the brig, so they had him doing asbestos removal in a ship or a submarine. I don't know that much, but I know that's where he got exposed to the disease. And it was right here in Washington, and people are still getting exposed to it right here in the same place.
And not much has changed.
Not a lot.
Using Barbie's voice like Jordan uses his, Barbie has a beautiful book which we'll show you at dinner time. She's a beautiful photographer, and she has a collection of photographs from Steve McQueen, your young years. They're really beautiful. So tell us about your photography, and then tell us why you did this page in your book, because I think that's important.
Well, the book is great. I'm not here to sell a book.
Some people are not hearing you.
Oh, sorry.
I'll step up.
Okay.
Give Barbie the microphone.
Okay, it's on. Do it this way.
I did the book just because I like photography, and Steve was a beautiful person to photograph, and we had times that nobody ever knew about because I knew the man, not the actor. And I've only seen 2 of his movies, The Blob and Tower Inferno. So, and now I can't watch them. Is that me?
I know, it's crazy. It's okay.
Because it just hurts too much to watch him now because, you know, he's on the screen all the time whenever you turn television on. But the nice thing about the book is every time I do a book signing, everywhere I go, almost everybody knows somebody that has mesothelioma or that's died from it or is exposed to it. So it's very out there.
And Barbie's book has actually been presented to Brazilian doctors, to French Andiva, International Mesothelioma Interest Group doctors. It is going around the world, and she allowed ADAO to put in a beautiful educational page that tells a little bit about our story and how important education is to raise awareness. I think this parting photo is so dramatic. You wanted to set it up a little bit?
Well, it was in Montana, and you can kind of tell, now that I look at it, it is probably in the beginning stages of meso, but I just love the photograph. It's just, you know,
Steve.
I'm pissed off Steve. Sorry, America. But
So if President Obama was sitting over there, what would you like to tell President Obama? She's not shy, guys.
I was going to say, I don't have insurance for this.
Well, neither do we. Neither do we.
Ban it. It's wrong. It's terribly wrong. It kills people, and until somebody it hits home when it hits a presidential family or a member of their family, they'll understand what's going on. But we're just people with a voice, and when it happens that way, I think somebody's going to really ban it and make it legal.
Thank you for using your voice. Will you all put your hands together and thank Mrs. McQueen?